Hey, my name's Vicich. I'm out here at Dellwood Park, Canyons Disc Golf Course in Lockport, Illinois, and I'm going to show you what's in my bag. I'm carrying the Pound Octothorpe bag in this nice custom combination. Shout out to Levi. First, I'm going to show you the putters in my bag. I putt with the P1X. Right now I'm using the D line. It's a nice straight putter with a lot of glide. Has a bead on it. I've been using this orange one for a little while, and this pink one here is actually one of the first Discmania discs that I got. It's nice and broken in. I use this for my long range jump putts, and then this is mostly anything in or around the circle. I've also got a soft P-line P1X. This is a really understable version of the P1X. It's pretty beat up too, so I use it for touch shots around the basket and hyzers, or it's a little softer plastic, so if I need it to sit on a hillside or a fast green, this is the P1X that I'm grabbing. Got a D-line P2. I picked this one up from Eagle McMahon a few years ago from his used stash, and this is just a nice touch upshot disc. I could throw it on hyzer flips, let it pop up, fly straight, and depending on how much power I put on it, it'll get some break to the right. And this is actually, I aced with this last event for 650 bucks, so feeling pretty good about throwing this disc right now. Also, got the P3X. I'm throwing the S line right now. This is a low profile putter. It's relatively new from Discmania. I really like it for most of my putter shots. Mainly the low profile. It's flat, it's comfy, fits in the hand. It's got decent stability, not really overstable, so you can kind of work it, but it will finish back for you. But I'm really excited about this disc, and I just put this fresh one in the bag, and it's flying really good right now. On to my mid-ranges. One of my most favorite discs to throw is the S-Line MD. It's a really great disc. Easy to throw. It's one of those discs that you can throw on a hyzer, and it's going to stay on the hyzer. You can throw it flat. It's going to fly straight. Put some turn on it, and it's going to fly and finish to the right. So it's really a do-it-all disc. If I'm just running out to the course with a couple discs, I'm definitely bringing one of my S-Line MDs, but this pink one here has been in my bag since the day I got it in the mail. It's really beat up, so I throw it on some nice hyzer flips and it pops straight, or if I'm throwing it a little flatter, it's going to fly and then turn to the right. But this is a really important disc in my bag, and I've lost it a few times and gotten it back, so I'm very grateful for that. This is a little bit newer one. It's got a little bit more stability, a lot of glide, but it can handle a little bit more wind than this one. If I put it on a hyzer, I'm not going to be able to get it to pop up straight, but it's going to stay on that hyzer line. Really should consider checking out the MD, whether it's C line or S line. But these S lines are definitely my bread and butter and one of my favorite molds to throw. What kind of Discmaniac would I be if I didn't carry an MD3? I've got two different MD3s here. This particular one is Color Glow C-Line. It's an Eagle McMahon series. This version came out a little bit straighter, so I'll throw this when I have to throw flat and hard, and it'll go very straight. If I put a little bit of turn on it, it'll hold that turn, but it's not really overstable, but it's just a workhorse type mid. If the wind's up and the MDs aren't the disc for the shot, I'm going to be grabbing for this particular Color Glow MD3. And this one, this is also one of the earlier discs that I got from Discmania. It's just a regular Glow MD3. It's got the Sweet Shield stamp. This is one of my favorite stamps to get on discs. And this has got a little bit more stability than the Color Glow MD3. So I can throw this one flat and know that it's going to finish left, or if I put a little bit of turn on it, it's still going to finish left. So again, if the wind is up or I need to go a little bit more left, need that reliability, that's what I'm grabbing for the C-Line color MD3. And the last mid-range disc in my bag is this prototype C MD4. This is a little bit domier than you see out of most MD4s, and I think it gave it a little bit more added stability, which I like. It's a nice step up from my Color Glow MD3 to my Glow MD3 to this C MD4. I can crank on it and know that it's going to finish to the left, and it's got really good glide. It's not one of those overstable discs that wants to continue to the ground. It wants to continue in the air before finding the ground. So I throw this quite a bit, especially if the wind's up or if I need to finish the shot to the left. This is the newest addition to my bag. It's from the most recent run of Color Glow FDs, the Night Strike Nate Perkins run. But picked this one up the other day, and as soon as I picked it up, I knew it was going to be a good disc. It's got a really good feel for it. It's got a slight dome, and these FDs are really straight flyers. I can't quite get it to hyzer flip to flat and turn, but I can get it to pop up and fly pretty straight. If I put some turn on it, this is a disc that's going to go pretty far, even though it's just an FD, and then finish to the right. Really useful disc, and yeah, this is a great run. You should check out the Nate Perkins Night Strikes if you haven't yet. Here's kind of a utility disc in my bag. It's the S-Line TDX, and this particular version is 166 grams. It's a really flat TDX. If you know, TDXs, they either came out domey or flat, and these flat ones are much more understable than the domey ones. So this particular one being a little lighter and very flat, this is my roller disc. I also use it for forehand rollers, backhand rollers. My style of rolling, I prefer an understable disc to the overstable one. I feel like I have much more control over it and can get it to do some really fun things. So if you need a straight flying disc or a roller, check out the flat TDXs. And here we are to my favorite, one of my all-time favorite molds ever. I'm talking the CD2. Right here is a swirly CD2. This is from the second run. It's a little flatter. Plastic is a little bit softer, so it's going to be a little bit more understable. So I'm using this for hyzer flips, or if I have to throw a flat shot long distance and get it to finish right, I'm going to be grabbing for this second run softer S-Line swirly CD2. But great flying disc, goes really far on command. Now this version is the first run version of the swirly CD2. It's got a little bit more dome, it's slightly stiffer plastic, so it's a little bit more overstable. And this is an incredible disc. I can't say enough about the CD2. I throw it on hyzers and it goes long, stays in the air, and then will finish left. If I throw it flat, it's flying long distances straight with very little fade. If I put a little bit of turn on it, that's when I can get some really cool shots. I can get it to throw or to fly 350 plus feet and then start to break right if I get the right angle on it. But this disc, even though it's not a high-speed driver, it goes really far. I found myself reaching for the CD2 versus the high-speed disc just because I can control this one a little bit better. It's got a really comfortable rim, and again, this is the first run of the swirlies, and I mean, it's pretty. Look at that swirl. That's pretty cool. I cycle a lot of these in and out of the bag, and this is the particular one that I've been throwing this year, and you'll see me throw quite a bit. Stepping up from the CD2 is the CD3. This has been a new addition to my bag this season. I started out the year with this particular minty green S-Line CD3. It's got a little bit of a pop top to it, not very big, but while it's a speed 11 disc, I can throw it really far. If I need a little bit more distance than my CD2, and I don't need the accuracy that the CD2 gives me, I'm grabbing for the CD3. And this minty green one has been in my bag all season. It's starting to break in, so I just busted out this sweet purple one. It's got a step-up stability from the green one. The dome is a little bit bigger, so it does have that added stability, and it seems to have a little bit more glide. So if you're someone that likes the CD3s, the flatter, slightly domey ones are a little straighter, while if you find a domey one, like this purple, it's gonna have some stability. But I really like it for my wide open distance shots, especially if the wind's up a little bit, a little too much for this one that's getting understable. I'm grabbing this purple one, and right now this is my main distance driver. Next up, I've got the Glow FD3. This is another new release from this season, and this is probably one of the most overstable versions of the FD3. I use this for control shots, forehand, backhand, thumbers. It's a great disc. It's got a chunk out of it. It's still nice and beefy, really overstable. So if you need a reliable fairway driver, these Glow FD3s are your ticket. The Doombird 1. This is a swirly FD3. This is a little flatter. This version came out with a little bit stiffer plastic. It's a little bit straighter for an FD3, so I'm going to use this shot for when I need to go a little bit further than the Glow. I can put a nice flex line on it and it's still going to fight out. Really a great overall FD3 utility disc. If I need a controlled shot and the wind isn't up too much, this is definitely the ticket. Also have the S-Line PD. PD is a classic Discmania mold. I've carried a number of different PDs throughout the years, and this most recent run came out really nice. Plastic is a little bit on the softer side, but it's nice and flat. It's just a really controllable disc. I'll grab for the S-Line PD when the wind is up and I need the shot to finish left. I prefer to throw the CD2, but when the winds are up, I will grab for the PD. It's a great shot shaper, so I can kind of crank on it and know that it's going to come back. This particular one is 172 grams, very flat, easy to throw, but it's a great utility disc and a nice step up from the CD2. And finally, we're to the beef, the PD2. This particular PD2 S-Line, it's got a little bit of the blizzard in the rim, so this run did come out a little bit straighter in terms of PD2s. So traditionally the PD2 has been a disc that really wants to fight to the ground. It's an overstable mold, but I don't have a whole lot of power, so I was really excited when these straighter ones came out because they just want to stay in the air a little bit longer. They're a little bit more workable. So this blizzard rimmed S-Line PD2 is my main distance driver, especially when the winds are up. Also got this sweet Glow PD2. Got the Sky God double or triple stamp. This is it's got a nice pop top dome to it, and like the S-Line, it's a little bit straighter, but I would say this is a step up in stability from my orange S-Line that I'm throwing. So I'm using this one if I really got to crank over on it and still need to finish to the left where the orange S-Line will hang on. This is definitely going to come back. I'm also using this for forehands. This is my main forehand disc if it's outside of 300 feet. Just a really reliable, nice one, and it glows. And finally, the beef, for real this time. This is a swirly S-Line PD2. It's got an Illinois State Doubles Championship stamp on it. My friend Kale at Airborne Disc designed it. He does the logo every year and knocks it out of the park every year. But this is it's got a nice pop top dome, as you can see, and it's a pretty overstable version of the PD2. So I can crank on this and know that it's going to come back. Or I'm going to use this for short range forehand skip shots or shots that just when the wind's up and I need to go left, I'm grabbing for this PD2. All right, so you've seen the discs that I'm throwing. Now I'm going to show you some other stuff that I've got in my bag. First off, my mini. This is a mini that means a lot to me. I like having special minis. I don't know, it makes me feel good, and sometimes when you're out there playing and struggling, a mini, looking down at your mini can make you happy or forget about that missed shot that you just had. But this particular one is from the first St. Jude event, which I was a part of organizing and helping on some back end stuff. So this was, boy, this mini's going on 3 years old, 4 years old. So it's been in and out of my bag. It's currently in here right now, and it can help put things in perspective because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm out playing disc golf, having fun, I'm out in nature, and this mini helps me remember that. I've also got the Disc Golf Pro Tour Tempercraft water bottle. Shout out to the Pro Tour for hooking it up. Tempercraft, good stuff. Got my Shady Rays. Shady Rays, should check them out. They're supporting disc golfers. I also carry a ton of towels. I like to be prepared. Last event I played in, it was raining, so I've got an abundance of towels, but my dude Miles at Paragon, he prints all my stuff for me for my events, my tournament clothes, whatever it is. Andy's a good friend, but I've got a ton of these towels, and shout out to Miles for the towels and for all the support over the years. I always have a sports sack in my bag. This particular one is a Smashbox TV one. I always hang out with Terry and the boys on Smashbox, whether it's Tuesday nights or sometimes stepping in the booth. Sometimes I'm even in front of the camera on Smashbox. But yeah, this is my sports sack, and I always have it in my hand during events. It's kind of keeps me calm. It's kind of my stress reliever, and then also keeps the hand dry and the discs nice and grippy. So as an added bonus, I want to show you a few of the discs that are in my backup box. I cycle a lot of discs in and out of my bag, so sometimes these are in the bag and maybe next weekend they're not. This is an old Champy Star patent number PD, Sweet Panda stamp. My dude Kevin, Pop Top Dies, put together this awesome Glow MD3 acid wrap Chance the Rapper inspired artwork. My backup PD Super Swirls. This one's usually in the bag. Another Swirl CD2. And lastly, Swirl P2. This has got a little more glide than the P3X, but this is also in and out side by side with the P3X. So thanks for watching my In the Bag. Before I let you go, I want to thank my sponsors, Discmania Discs, Paragon Disc Golf, Dellwood Disc Golf Shop, Pound Bags, Shady Rays, Ledgestone Insurance. Thank you all for supporting me, and I really appreciate it, and I hope to see some of you out on the course sometime soon.